the new sports nation, we will visit Freestyle World Cup stage in Almaty. We will tell you how coronavirus influenced world sport. And there is also a small tour to rifle shooting class. We are 2,200 meters above sea level. It is a ski resort Shimbulak, and it is a starting point for journalists to Freestyle World Cup stage. We'll go there by skidoo, we'll have to climb even higher. So we're just beginning, let's go! We reached the destination point. It is a mixed zone, a special zone for the pressmen and videographers from different countries who arrived together with their teams. The teams are absolutely different. There are leaders in the global rating, including leaders of the national team of Kazakhstan, Yulia Galisheva, Dmitry Reicherd, Pavel Kalmakov. Freestyle School of the Republic of Kazakhstan is known all over the world. Almost all the leaders of the national team represent East Kazakhstan region. Kalmakov, Reicherd and Galisheva consistently ranked among the top 10 athletes, and Yulia even became the second at the Winter Olympic Games. But this day she is not fated to go to the track. Galisheva fell down and got injured during warm-up. But this is Dmitry Reicherd on the track, who missed last season as he was injured. Does the fact that you perform at home help you? It always helps. It's great that the World Cup is held in our country for the second time. Last year I missed starts, so this year I'm ready to fight. Cheer up for us. Work on the slope began last year in December. As a result, about 50 specialists created one of the most difficult routes in the world with a length of 220 meters. Here we have a track for parallel mogul skiing. Athletes perform in tandem, but only one of them is qualified to the next round. Not only the time of covering the distance, but also technique is to be considered. Already from the first run, it became clear that the track is going to be difficult. Fast snow ruined the plans of many skiers. Any fall, in fact, is an early knockout for medal contention. But still, there was much more beauty in this run. Friends, sun, mountains, fresh air, pure romantic. Freestylers come down to us from the mountains. We ask them questions.
Sorry, do you speak English? You're from Finland? Yes. How are you?
Not so good anymore. Just now drinking some coffee and watching the end of the duels.
Japanese support their team. The team is quite strong. They can easily do their best with such a great support. A total of 17 national teams arrived at the Almaty stage of the World Cup, including the team of Kazakhstan. Among the participants, there are freestylers from Australia who basically have no snow at home. Parallel mogul skiing is one of the most spectacular freestyle disciplines. World Cup stages have been held since 1980. This is also when freestyle gained popularity worldwide. Mogul itself is a part of the Olympic program. Athletes navigate between the bumps, make ground tumbling on a high speed. Even just being a viewer on the hills, it is possible to get a portion of adrenaline, so you can only imagine the state of athletes. Can you describe physical preparation of the Russian team? What is your forecast? The team is very young. We are now preparing for the Olympic Games in China. What do you think of the track? Is it standard? No, it is not standard. It is very hard, but all the skiers are under the same conditions.
Усложняется, но все едут в одинаковых условиях.
Canadian Mikhail Kingsbury is considered as the most prominent freestyler. He is the Olympic champion, 5-time world champion, and he also arrived in Almaty. Mikhail easily reached semi-final to contest with Kazakhstan athlete Dmitry Reicherd.
Diman is good. I mean, I've been competing with him for a long time, and he's a a good competitor, and I enjoy skiing with him. And I hope he's still going next year again.
Kingsbury made it into the final in this tandem, where he fought with Japanese Ikuma Hiroshima. Have a look at moments of the race. Canadian is on the right. The winner of the Kazakhstani World Cup stage among men was Ikuma Hiroshima, and Mikhail Kingsbury won the overall rankings of the season. So he is in festivus mood.
The course was not easy, especially at the end. I had a hard time with the red course. I think I was, when I was getting to the bottom area, I was slowing down a lot. But I'm happy I tried, 1440 on the top, first one this year.
In girls' competitions, American Jaylene Kauf was second to none. In the final, she got a win against the representative of Australia, Shakara Anthony. The third place was taken by the athlete from France, Perrine Lafon.
I'm really happy, really excited. Looking forward to some more duels this season. Hopefully do a little more of this. Have fun, ski fast. Yeah, just keep my run out there.
The best result in Kazakhstani team was the fourth place of Dmitry Reicherd. Sergei Romanov, Oleg Tsyn, Pavel Kalmakov, Alexander Gebert, Alessia Graur and Ayaolim Amrenova also performed at the home start.
Команда сражалась, конечно, жаль, что на тренировке.
The team tried to do its best, of course, and it is a pity that during training Yulia slightly hurt her leg. It's a lot of excitement, it is responsibility. In fact, only this year Dima returned to the team and now he trains in the first team. He is the leader of the men's team, but now he starts square again. It's okay. There are still 2-3 serious seasons ahead.
Впереди еще 2-3 серьезных сезона.
There are more athletes in the team now. 2 squads are formed. One for the Cup of Europe, another for the World Cup. Both teams showed good results. In the course of the season, athletes reached the podium not once.
Вы видите прекрасные результаты в Кубках Европы.
You see excellent results of Nastya Korotko in European Championships. Trainers do their work. We have consultants. We strengthened coaching staff. Young athletes make much headway.
Поколение идет, там молодые подпирают уже.
A year ago, Southern Capital already hosted Freestyle World Cup stage. The winners were Ikuma Hiroshima and Yulia Galisheva. It's highly probable that in 2021 the best freestylers of the world will gather in Almaty again. The next is a report on how coronavirus influenced world sport. Coronavirus completely paralyzed world sport. Eminent football players even arranged various challenges. The Olympic champion from Great Britain, gymnast Max Whitlock, showed how to keep fit being at home.
I want to put workouts online on my social media to inspire people to get fit, get active. They're really quick workouts for anybody, any age, any ability. But now what I'm really excited about, what I'm going to be doing next week is gymnastics with Max. So I'm going to try and, there's millions of gymnasts all around the country that can't get to train at the moment, obviously, and they're missing gymnastics. So I want to bring gymnastics to their home, a live gymnastics session for beginners and elite level gymnastics. And that's something I'm really excited about.
Perhaps all fun ends here. fans from all over the world became sad, as well as the mascot of Baris Hockey Club. After all, coronavirus left sport fans without their good old entertainment. Only in 5 leading European football championships, English, French, German, Spanish and Italian, losses may amount to 4 billion euros. World Ice Hockey Championship, European Football Championship were already cancelled, and the main sport quad competitions, Olympic Games, were rescheduled for 2021. These are the last news from the head of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, during telephone conversation with journalists.
In this telephone call between Prime Minister Abe and me, we have been discussing the seriousness of the pandemic of the coronavirus, and most importantly the devastating effect it has on so many people's lives around the entire globe. There, the World Health Organization speaks of the acceleration of the spreading of the virus. So we were addressing this situation and came to the conclusion that in order to safeguard the health of the athletes and everybody involved in the Olympic Games.
The reschedule may cause appreciable damage to Japanese economy, which already invested more than $12 billion in the Games organization. The coronavirus pandemic had impact on the training of 11,000 athletes and 4,400 Paralympic athletes. The costs of preparation for the Olympics totaling $3.5 billion are classified as losses. Profits from sponsorship and advertising contracts have also been lost. People even joke that doom hung over Tokyo because Olympic Games in the metropolis were rescheduled already several times. This first happened in 1940. Due to Japan's invasion of China, IOC moved the Games to Helsinki, but the Olympics did not take place due to World War II. Tokyo eventually hosted Summer Games in 1964.
It's a crazy time that we're living in, and yeah, the Olympics have been postponed, which is better than being cancelled. So we need to also kind of stay positive. You know, it's hard for these athletes, it's hard for me. You know, I had a really good year last year. Going into this year, I was feeling good. But our priority now for everyone is to stay safe, stay at home, protect everyone you can, and do what we can to help make this go away as quickly as possible.
Coronavirus pandemic put the world sport on pause, and some championships ended ahead of schedule. Hockey team Baris, who spent the season successfully, for security reasons was withdrawn from the playoff of Gagarin Cup. It is worth reminding that in the regular season the team of Andrei Skabelka took the first place in Chernyshev division, getting ahead Avangard, the rival from Omsk. The first rival of Kazakhstanis in playoffs became Metallurg from Magnitogorsk. But coronavirus had its own plans, and apparently the games with Metallurg became the last this season. There was no winner in basketball competitions this season. VTB League officially ended the season when Astana team reached the 10th place. Emil Rajkovic players started the season successfully but were extremely unsuccessful in road stand. We can only suppose that the capital basketball players could get through the playoffs in the remaining games. But this season, the squad of young Kazakh players and bright American legionnaires was very nice. I have a book I started reading. It is sports psychology. It tells about how athletes handle bad times in their career. It is basics of stress management, how athletes relax after the game, their thoughts, and so on. What is the start of my day? I wake up, make breakfast, and play video games. It is always different. To be honest, I got up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Once I went jogging in the botanical garden.
Вот несколько дней отдохнул и потом понял, что надо чем-то заниматься в плане, пока есть время.
I rested for a few days and realized that if I have much free time, it is necessary to do something. Because during the season we have little time to read books, study something. Now is time when you can learn something new, read books.
Узнать что-то новое, почитать книжки, посмотреть там в интернете что-нибудь новое, узнать для себя.
Тренируешься каждый день, это как бы...
I train every day. It is already a habit. Then it ends abruptly and they say to sit at home. It is awful. Even training at home, I die of boredom. I feel down. I want to go to the gym and just throw the ball.
Пойти в спортзал, даже просто побросать мяч.
Обычно у нас 2 раза в день тренировки.
Usually, we have trainings 2 times a day, from 10 to 12 a.m. and from 5 to 7 p.m. I usually wake up at 8 a.m., wash up and have breakfast, then walk through the park to the arena. In winter, it is especially good, as I can open my eyes at once.
Прогуляю с утра, тем более зимой это классно, свежий воздух, с утра как раз просыпаешься.
But not all the athletes were lucky to stay at home. The captain of the women's national tennis team, Yaroslava Shvedova, got into a dispensary after it turned out that she flew by one and the same flight with passenger infected by coronavirus. But a day later, the doctors confirmed that none of the people on the board had that virus.
Летели в четверг, рано утром.
We arrived on Thursday morning. I got home, stayed with my children. We stayed at home for 2 days. I was taken to the dispensary alone. To my relief, the test hasn't revealed coronavirus. I hope nothing passed on to my kids, my husband, his parents.
Надеюсь, ничего не передалось моим деткам, мужу, его родителям.
Coronavirus pandemic forced people to change their plans. The stars of Kazakhstani sports spend online physical exercises, trainings, interviews. For example, Elizabeth Tursunbayeva, the silver prize winner of the World Figure Skating Championship, tried not to be disappointed during quarantine and got into music and cooking. Gymnast Milad Karimi also decided not to waste time but to keep in trim. And this is Iflat Abdulin, the member of the national team of Kazakhstan on archery, who is into sports mastery. Our clubs, national teams and representatives of individual types have yet to calculate sport and economic losses from reschedule and cancellation of competitions. Obviously, the pandemic has left a permanent mark on world sport. Further in the program, there is a champion of Kazakhstan and the master of sports, Ivan Litvinenko. He will tell about peculiarities of rifle shooting. Accuracy and endurance, perhaps these 2 qualities are inherent to all professional shooters. Someone will say that it is not the most spectacular sport, but in order to understand it, you should just understand the rules.
И на пистолете, и на винтовке есть разделение уже по упражнениям.
The exercises on the gun and rifle are divided, air gun and on firearms exercises. Classic Olympic distances are 10, 25 and 50 meters.
Олимпийские дистанции классические, это 10, 25 и 50 метров. На 10-метровой дистанции.
At 10 meters distance, they work with a gun and a rifle. It is an air gun distance. 25 meters, sports gun and firearms. 50 meters is a distance for a rifle.
И 50 метров – это винтовочная дистанция.
It may seem that the athlete should just smoothly pull the trigger. All shooters should have overall physical condition. It is necessary to have endurance and powerfully built hands musculation. But as in any sport, requirements to athletes constantly grow. The shape of the shooters is being improved, and even the targets became different.
Спортсмены в прошлом стреляли по бумаге, результат попадания смотрели либо...
In times past, athletes made shots at paper. The results was checked via the pipe or the target moved on. Electronic fixation is underway now. No longer the judge can prevent or help the athlete.
Способом помешать или наоборот прибавить очков какому-то спортсмену.
Shooting is considered one of the most ancient sports that appeared in the mid-14th century. When firearms were used instead of bows and crossbows, it was from that moment the rifle shooting started developing actively. For the first time, medals in this sport were achieved at the first Olympic Games in Athens in 1896, and the initiator of their inclusion in the program was the founder of modern games, Pierre de Coubertin, who himself was 7-time champion of France in gun shooting. In Kazakhstan, it is not the most popular sport. It is mainly popular in Almaty, Shymkent and Nur-Sultan. The most famous shooter from our country is Olga Dovgun, 2-time world champion, participant of 4 Olympiads. True fans surely remember that she was a step close to win a medal on the Olympic Games in Athens, having taken the 4th place.
Много зависит от того оружия, с которым ты работаешь. Ну и, естественно,
Much depends on the gun you work with, but it is also for the human factor.
Выдержанный, стабильная нервная система, то есть способные в экстремальных условиях.
I admire the athletes with a stable nervous system who can shoot hugely more successful than their rivals at competitions without being distracted by noises of the audience.
Поддаваться ни на шум зрителей, ни на, скажем так, успешные выстрелы своих соперников. Пулевая стрельба – это, можно сказать,
Rifle shooting is a long-term kind of sport. There were cases when the athletes at the age of 70 stepped podium.
на пьедестал поднимались люди там под 70 лет, которым.
Maximum score for one shot is 10.9. Shooting in the eye several times in a row is considered as almost a record. But at the international level, the competition is strong, and even the 10th count. Therefore, rifle shooting can hardly be called a boring sport.
У нас и паралимпийцы, то есть лица с ограниченными возможностями.
Here we have Paralympic athletes, people with disabilities. Parents want their children to develop their mental determination. It is a specific kind of sport.
У ребенка они приводят сюда устойчивость, то есть вид спорта это такой, что специфичный.
Today's program ends with the section Video of the Week. Meet Tanner Godfrey from the USA. Since his youth, his legs were paralyzed due to motorcycle accident, but his calling is that of extreme. He set a jump by car world record the day before. His car flew 63 meters ahead in the air. This is a few meters more than in the previous record set by Tanner too.